there is an incredibly powerful verse that transcends the limitations of time and space, a message so close to the true teachings of Jesus that it has changed the lives of millions. The most surprising thing, this verse is not in the Bible as we know it. Today, we will dive into the hidden history behind this extraordinary revelation, which has the potential to revolutionize your spiritual understanding and transform your life in unimaginable ways. Over the centuries, many sacred texts have been lost, hidden, or deliberately suppressed. Some of these texts contain profound truths that can complement and enrich our understanding of traditional scriptures. This is the case with the verse we are about to explore, a true hidden gem that sheds new light on the teachings of Jesus and invites us on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment. More than 1,000 years ago, a group of devout believers, aware of the importance of preserving these sacred words, risked everything to ensure this crucial message was not lost to posterity. In times of great political and religious turmoil, where divergent ideas were often suppressed, these texts were carefully stored in a remote cave, far from the eyes of the world. The location was chosen with precision, a barren, isolated region where natural climatic conditions would help preserve the delicate scrolls. For centuries, these writings remained hidden, awaiting the right moment to be discovered. Empires rose and fell, and the world changed dramatically, but hidden deep within the earth, this spiritual treasure remained intact, like a time capsule waiting to be opened. It was only when a simple shepherd, unaware that he was about to play a crucial role in the history of human spirituality, ventured into those barren lands that the secret began to unfold. Guided by a force greater than he could comprehend, this man became the catalyst for a spiritual revolution that would echo through the ages. The shepherd's journey was not easy. For years he faced physical and emotional challenges, doubts, and moments of despair. Many times he thought about giving up, convinced he was chasing an impossible dream. However, something inside him, perhaps an inner voice, a divine intuition, urged him to continue. With courage and determination, he entered the dark, damp cave, lighting his way with a flickering torch. The air was thick with history and mystery, and each step took him deeper into the past. The echo of his footsteps reverberated off the rocky walls, creating an atmosphere of suspense and expectation. As he advanced, the shepherd began to notice signs of ancient human presence, marks on the walls, remnants of long extinguished fires, fragments of pottery. These silent traces spoke of a distant time when others had walked this same path, carrying their precious burden of knowledge. Each discovery heightened his excitement and sense of purpose. He knew he was on the verge of something extraordinary, something that could change not only his life, but the course of spiritual history. Among the artifacts were ancient amphorae, containing delicately preserved scrolls. The shepherd looked at these containers with a mixture of reverence and awe. He could feel the weight of history in his hands, the responsibility of being the first in centuries to touch these sacred texts. With trembling hands, he unrolled the scrolls and saw before him words that had been lost to the world for centuries, the hidden texts that would reveal profound truths about spirituality and Jesus' message. The Lost Gospel of Thomas is an extraordinary archaeological discovery that sheds new light on Jesus' teachings in a unique and revealing way. This gospel, found among the ancient scrolls kept in the hidden cave, represents a missing link in understanding the early years of Christianity and Jesus' original teachings. Unlike the canonical Gospels we know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the Gospel of Thomas does not narrate Jesus' life in story form. Instead, it is a collection of 114 sayings attributed to Jesus, many of which do not appear in any other known text. This unique structure offers a direct and unfiltered glimpse of Jesus' words, without the narrative context that can sometimes influence our interpretation. What makes this gospel so special is its closeness to the actual words spoken by Christ, without the layers of interpretation that, over the centuries, may have distorted or diluted his original message. Many scholars believe that the Gospel of Thomas may be even older than some of the canonical Gospels, possibly recording teachings that circulated among Jesus' earliest followers. Among the hidden Gnostic texts, the Gospel of Thomas stands out as a precious gem, offering readers a direct glimpse of Jesus' unfiltered words. Its language is often enigmatic and symbolic, inviting the reader to deep reflection and personal interpretation. This aligns with the Gnostic tradition, which emphasizes personal and direct knowledge of the divine. As we dive into the pages of the lost Gospel of Thomas, we are invited to connect with the pure and authentic essence of Jesus' teachings. Each saying is like a door to new understanding, an invitation to explore dimensions of spirituality that may have been obscured over time. This discovery provides us with a deeper, more personal understanding of the Master's message. It challenges us to reconsider our established interpretations and seek a more direct and experiential understanding of Jesus' words. The Gospel of Thomas does not replace the canonical texts, but complements them, offering an additional perspective that enriches our overall understanding of Christ's teachings. As scholars and spiritual seekers continue to explore and interpret this text, new layers of meaning are revealed. The Gospel of Thomas thus becomes not just a historical artifact, but a living document that continues to inspire, challenge, and transform those who dedicate themselves to its study and contemplation. The most powerful verse found in the lost Gospel of Thomas contains a message so profound and transformative that it challenges conventional beliefs and invites us to broader reflection on spirituality. This verse, which remained hidden for centuries, has the power to revolutionize our understanding of Jesus' message and our own spiritual journey. These words resonate not only with unique authenticity, but also offer a path to deeper understanding of life's purpose and connection with the divine. They invite us to look beyond traditional interpretations and seek a more direct and personal experience of spirituality. The impact of this verse goes beyond the written words, echoing in the hearts of those who allow themselves to immerse in its timeless wisdom. It has the power to awaken a higher consciousness, to open doors of perception that have remained closed for too long. For many, encountering this verse is a transformative experience, a moment of epiphany that fundamentally changes their perspective on life and the divine. As we explore the context in which this verse was discovered and understand the historical significance behind its revelation, we are led on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual enlightenment. We consider not only the meaning of the words themselves, but also the historical moment in which they were written, the circumstances of their preservation and rediscovery, and how they relate to other spiritual teachings over the centuries. Each phrase contained in this verse resonates as a call to inner transformation and the search for the true essence of existence. It challenges us to question our assumptions, examine our deepest beliefs, and open ourselves to new possibilities of spiritual understanding. This verse does not offer easy answers or superficial comfort. Instead, it invites us on a journey of discovery and growth. The strength of this verse lies not only in its content, but also in its ability to resonate differently with each individual who encounters it. Like a spiritual mirror, it reflects back to us our own deepest truths, often revealing aspects of ourselves and our relationship with the divine that we had not previously perceived. As we meditate on these ancient words, we may find surprising insights into our own nature, our purpose in life, and our connection with the cosmos. The verse becomes a portal to deeper understanding, a catalyst for spiritual growth, and a source of inspiration for a more authentic life aligned with divine principles. The The most powerful verse, found in the Lost Gospel of Thomas, reveals the three fundamental teachings of Jesus that are essential to truly understanding all of Christianity. These words, preserved through the centuries, offer a profound and transformative vision of Christ's message, distilling its essence into three central principles. These teachings transcend the barriers of time and resonate with a timeless wisdom that illuminates the hearts of those who allow themselves to delve into their depth. As we unravel the meaning behind these teachings, we are invited on a journey of self-discovery and spiritual connection. Each of the three principles offers a unique perspective on our relationship with God, with others, and with ourselves, forming a sacred triangle of spiritual understanding. The first teaching invites us to look within, to explore the depths of our own consciousness, and to recognize the divine spark that resides in each of us. This principle challenges the notion that the divine is something external to us, encouraging us to seek truth and enlightenment within our own hearts. The second teaching focuses on our relationship with others and the world around us. It reminds us of the interconnectedness of all creation and calls us to live with compassion, love, and service. This principle echoes Jesus' commandment to love your neighbor as yourself, but it expands to a deeper and more holistic understanding. The third teaching addresses our relationship with the divine, offering a unique perspective on the nature of God and our place in the cosmic plan. It challenges traditional concepts and invites us to a more direct and personal experience of the divine, transcending dogmas and rituals to reach the heart of spirituality. Each phrase in this verse contains a symbolic key that opens the doors to deeper understanding of the message of love and redemption brought by Jesus. These keys are not just abstract concepts, but practical tools for personal and spiritual transformation. They invite us not only to believe, but to experience and live Jesus' teachings in our daily lives. The triad of teachings contained in this verse represents the pure essence of Christ's message, offering spiritual seekers an authentic guide to living a life in harmony with divine principles. They form a map for the spiritual journey, pointing the way to a fuller, more conscious existence aligned with divine purpose. As we contemplate and integrate these three fundamental teachings into our lives, we are invited to profound transformation. They challenge us to transcend the limitations of our current understanding, to expand our consciousness, and to live in a way that truly reflects the light and love of Christ. The most powerful verse found in the Lost Gospel of Thomas invites us to deep reflection on life and death, themes that have permeated human existence since time immemorial. This enigmatic passage challenges us to reconsider our preconceived notions about mortality and the nature of existence, offering a perspective that transcends conventional understanding. The enigmatic phrase spoken by Jesus, "Whoever understands these words will not taste death," leads us to question not only the meaning of death itself, but also the purpose and meaning of life. This profound statement invites us to explore deeper dimensions of existence beyond the physical plane we normally perceive. What is death but a transition to an unknown state? This question leads us to consider the possibility that death, as we conventionally understand it, may be an illusion, a change of state, rather than an absolute end. Jesus seems to suggest that there is an understanding, a level of consciousness that allows us to transcend the limits of mortality. As we dive into this reflection, we are confronted with our own limitations and fears regarding the end of earthly life. The idea that we can somehow overcome death through understanding challenges our fundamental notions of the nature of reality. This forces us to ask, what does it really mean to understand these words? Is it an intellectual understanding or a deeper realization, a direct experience of the truth they contain? Jesus invites us to consider that there may be more beyond physical death, suggesting that understanding his words may free us from fear and lead us to a full and meaningful existence. This perspective aligns with spiritual teachings from various traditions, which speak of the immortality of the soul or consciousness. It encourages us to look beyond physical existence and consider our eternal spiritual nature. This spiritual provocation challenges us to rethink our relationship with time, the finite, and the infinite. If we can truly understand and internalize these words, how would that change our way of living? How would it affect our priorities, our fears, our hopes? Perhaps the true understanding of these words leads us to live each moment with full awareness, free from the fear of death, and thus more able to embrace life in its entirety. As we contemplate this verse, we are invited to explore the nature of consciousness and its relationship with physical reality. Is our consciousness limited to the physical body, or is there a broader dimension of being that transcends the limitations of time and space? This reflection leads us to consider concepts such as eternity and the nature of ultimate reality. The promise of not tasting death can also be interpreted as an invitation to live fully in the present. If we can truly understand the depth of these words, perhaps we can experience a form of life so rich and full that it transcends our usual conception of death. In this state of elevated consciousness, the distinction between life and death may dissolve, revealing a continuity of existence that goes beyond our limited perceptions. This verse also challenges us to question the nature of knowledge and understanding. What kind of understanding is Jesus referring to? Is it intellectual knowledge or a deeper form of wisdom that transforms our entire being? This distinction leads us to consider the difference between superficial knowledge and true transformative wisdom. As we reflect on these words, we are invited on a journey of self-discovery and expanded consciousness. They encourage us to seek a deeper understanding of our own nature, the universe, and our relationship with the divine. This quest may lead us to spiritual practices, meditation, contemplation, or other forms of inner exploration that help us transcend our perceived limitations. Ultimately, this verse paves the way for a deeper understanding of our spiritual journey and our role in the universe. It invites us to live with expanded awareness, embracing each moment as an opportunity for spiritual growth and fulfillment. In doing so, we may discover that true immortality does not lie in the endless continuation of physical existence, but in the realization of our eternal and unlimited nature. The most powerful verse found in the Lost Gospel of Thomas invites us on an inward journey of self-knowledge and spiritual enlightenment. This deep and transformative passage opens doors to dimensions of understanding that go beyond conventional religious comprehension, challenging us to explore the depths of our own nature and our relationship with the divine. As we immerse ourselves in Jesus' words contained in this sacred text, we are challenged to explore the depths of our souls and recognize the divinity that dwells within our being. This concept of inner divinity is a revolutionary idea that echoes in various spiritual traditions around the world. It suggests that the kingdom of God is not a distant and inaccessible place, but a reality that can be discovered within ourselves. The intrinsic message in this verse transcends the limitations of human language, echoing as a call to the true essence of being. It invites us to look beyond external appearances, social roles, and identities we assume, to discover our deeper and more authentic nature. This process of self-discovery is not just an intellectual exercise, but a transformative journey that can fundamentally change our perception of ourselves and the world around us. Jesus reveals to us that by truly knowing ourselves, not only are we recognized by Him, but we also understand our intimate connection with the Heavenly Father. This statement suggests a profound interconnection between self-knowledge, divine recognition, and the understanding of our relationship with the cosmos. It implies that the more deeply we know ourselves, the closer we come to understanding the divine. This transformative revelation invites us to dive into the deepest layers of our existence, allowing us to discover the divine spark that shines within each of us. This process of self-discovery can be challenging, as it often involves confronting aspects of ourselves that we prefer to ignore or deny. However, it is through this honest and courageous confrontation with all facets of our being that we can achieve a more complete and authentic understanding of who we really are. The journey of self-knowledge that this verse invites us on is not an easy or quick path. It requires patience, courage, and a willingness to question our most deeply rooted beliefs and assumptions. It may involve moments of doubt, confusion, and even existential crisis. However, it is through these challenges that we grow and evolve spiritually. As we advance on this journey of self-discovery, we may begin to realize that our true nature is much vaster and deeper than we initially imagined. We may discover that we are not merely physical beings, limited by our bodily form, but spiritual beings with unlimited potential. This realization can be profoundly liberating, allowing us to transcend self-imposed limitations and live in a fuller and more authentic way. The verse also suggests that self-knowledge is a path to union with the divine. As we truly know ourselves, we begin to recognize the divine presence within us and, by extension, in all creation. This perception can lead to a profound sense of unity and interconnection with the entire universe, dissolving the illusory barriers that make us feel separate and isolated. This inner journey leads us on the path of spiritual realization and inner fulfillment. As we become more aware of our true nature, we can begin to live in a way that is more aligned with our divine purpose. This may manifest as greater compassion for ourselves and others, a deeper sense of peace and contentment, and an increased ability to express unconditional love. The verse reminds us that the quest for self-knowledge and spiritual enlightenment is not a luxury or distraction, but an essential part of our human journey. It suggests that it is through this quest that we can fully realize our divine potential and fulfill our highest purpose in life. Ultimately, this powerful verse from the Gospel of Thomas invites us on a journey of transformation that has the potential to change not only our own lives, but also the world around us. As we truly know ourselves and recognize our divine nature, we become agents of positive change, capable of radiating light and love to everyone around us. The most powerful verse, found in the lost Gospel of Thomas, reveals the profound wisdom contained in the parable of the Good Samaritan. This story, already familiar to many through the canonical Gospels, gains new dimensions of meaning when viewed through the lens of this newly discovered text. In this passage, Jesus invites us to reflect on the essence of compassion and solidarity, teaching us that true love for our neighbor transcends social and cultural barriers. The parable of the Good Samaritan, in its apparent simplicity, encapsulates a deep truth about the nature of love and humanity. The story presents us with a scenario where a wounded and needy man is ignored by those who, because of their social or religious position, should be the first to offer help. In contrast, it is a Samaritan, a member of a group despised by the Jews of the time, who shows true compassion and care. This twist in the narrative challenges our expectations and forces us to reconsider our own attitudes and prejudices. Through this parable, Jesus reminds us of the importance of reaching out to those in need, regardless of their origin or beliefs. He shows us that true spirituality is not manifested through rituals or social positions, but through concrete acts of love and care for others. This message is particularly powerful in a world often divided by ethnic, religious, and cultural differences. The story of the Good Samaritan challenges us to practice acts of kindness and generosity in our daily lives. It invites us to look beyond appearances and social labels to see the common humanity we share with all beings. This teaching encourages us to cultivate an attitude of openness and compassion toward everyone we encounter, especially those who may be different from us or whom society may marginalize. By understanding the deeper meaning of this parable, we are inspired to cultivate a compassionate and welcoming heart. Jesus shows us that true love knows no boundaries and that genuine compassion makes no distinctions based on race, religion, or social status. This teaching challenges us to expand our definition of neighbor to include all of humanity. The parable also reminds us that actions speak louder than words. The Good Samaritan not only felt compassion, but acted on that feeling, providing practical and ongoing help to the wounded man. This aspect of the story encourages us to transform our spiritual understanding into concrete actions that benefit others. Moreover, the parable invites us to reflect on who the Samaritans are in our own society, those who are marginalized, discriminated against, or seen as other. It challenges us to reconsider our own prejudices and seek opportunities to build bridges of understanding and compassion with those who may be different from us. The teaching contained in this parable also resonates with the idea of interconnectedness and unity that permeates many spiritual teachings. By helping others, we are not only benefiting them, but also elevating ourselves spiritually and contributing to the collective well-being of humanity. Following the example of unconditional love left by Jesus in this parable, we are called to live in a way that reflects this universal compassion. This may mean stepping out of our comfort zone, challenging our own assumptions and prejudices, and being willing to help even when it is inconvenient or difficult. Ultimately, the parable of the Good Samaritan, as revealed in the Gospel of Thomas, offers us a model of love and compassion that has the power to transform not only our individual lives, but society as a whole. It reminds us that every encounter with another human being is an opportunity to practice unconditional love and contribute to a more compassionate and united world. As the shepherd ventured into the deep cave in search of the hidden ancient scrolls, he came across a surprising revelation that transcended his wildest expectations. The journey that led him to this moment was long and challenging, filled with physical obstacles and inner doubts. Each step he took in the darkness of the cave was a step into the unknown, guided only by an inner conviction that something extraordinary awaited him. Before his eyes, a mysterious inscription carved into the rocky walls caught his attention. The ancient words seemed to pulse with an ancestral energy, as if they had been waiting for centuries to be deciphered. The flickering light of his torch danced over the enigmatic symbols, creating shadows that seemed to bring the ancient writings to life. Every symbol, every line carved into the rock seemed to contain a universe of meaning. The shepherd felt as if he was standing before a portal to a long-forgotten knowledge, a spiritual treasure that could change humanity's understanding of its own nature and place in the cosmos. With a mix of curiosity and reverence, the shepherd approached the inscription, feeling a shiver run down his spine. He was aware that he was about to unveil a secret guarded for generations, knowledge that had been protected and preserved through the centuries. The weight of this moment bore down on his shoulders, but at the same time, he felt an indescribable excitement at the prospect of unraveling this ancient mystery. As his eyes scanned the enigmatic symbols, a sudden understanding enveloped him, revealing a hidden meaning that echoed through the ages. It was as if a veil had been lifted from his eyes, allowing him to see beyond the veil of ordinary reality. The inscriptions on the wall were not just ancient marks, but a code that, once deciphered, opened the doors to timeless wisdom. The shepherd felt his heart race as the revelation unfolded in his mind. Each symbol seemed to contain layers of meaning, each line telling a story that went beyond words. It was knowledge that spoke directly to the soul, transcending the barriers of language and time. What had once been veiled before his eyes now manifested in all its grandeur, unveiling secrets long kept in the shadows of history. The shepherd realized that he was standing before a teaching that could revolutionize humanity's spiritual understanding. It was knowledge that spoke of a deep connection between all things, an underlying unity that permeated all existence. The inscriptions spoke of a reality beyond the physical world, of dimensions of consciousness that most people could not even imagine existed. They revealed practices and techniques to expand consciousness, to transcend the limitations of the ego, and to directly experience the divine nature of the universe. At the same time that this understanding flooded him, the shepherd felt a deep humility. He understood that this knowledge was not intended for him alone, but for all of humanity. He was just the messenger, the vehicle through which this ancient wisdom could be reintroduced to the world. The cave around him seemed to vibrate with renewed energy, as if the very place was responding to the rediscovery of this sacred knowledge. The air seemed denser, charged with meaning and potential. The shepherd felt as if he were at the epicenter of a spiritual revolution about to unfold. As he absorbed the revelations contained in the inscriptions, the shepherd began to understand the true purpose of his journey. He was not just a discoverer of ancient artifacts, but a chosen guardian to bring to light wisdom that had the power to transform lives and elevate the collective consciousness of humanity. With this understanding came an overwhelming sense of responsibility. The shepherd knew that the knowledge he now possessed was powerful and potentially dangerous if misinterpreted or used incorrectly. He would have to be careful in how he shared these revelations with the world. As he continued to decipher the inscriptions, the shepherd realized that he was only scratching the surface of a vast ocean of wisdom. Every answer he found generated new questions. Every revelation opened doors to even deeper mysteries. He understood that this discovery was not an end, but the beginning of a journey of exploration and discovery that would last the rest of his life. With a mix of excitement and reverence, the shepherd began to carefully document every detail of the inscriptions. He knew that every symbol, every nuance of meaning, was crucial to fully understanding this ancient wisdom. He spent hours in that cave, meticulously copying the inscriptions, taking notes on his intuitions and insights. When he finally emerged from the cave, the shepherd was a transformed man. His eyes shone with a new light of understanding, and he carried with him not only the physical records of his discovery, but also a profound change in his being. He knew that his life would never be the same, and that the world was about to change with the reintroduction of this ancient wisdom. As we contemplate the revelations contained in the lost Gospel of Thomas, we are invited on a journey of self-exploration and spiritual transformation that transcends the conventional limits of religious understanding. This ancient text, rediscovered after centuries of obscurity, offers a unique and profound perspective on Jesus' teachings, challenging us to look beyond traditional interpretations and seek a more direct and personal connection with the divine. Every word written in these ancient scrolls resonates with a timeless wisdom that transcends the barriers of time and space. They are not mere instructions or dogmas, but invitations to a living and transformative experience of spirituality. They call us to awaken from spiritual slumber and recognize the true nature of our existence. The message contained in this most powerful verse echoes as a call to authenticity and the quest for the true essence of existence. It challenges us to question our most basic assumptions about who we are and what our place in the universe is. This verse does not offer easy answers or superficial comfort, but invites us on a journey of discovery that can be both challenging and deeply rewarding. As we delve into the depths of this teaching, we are challenged to question our ingrained beliefs and open ourselves to new perspectives on life and the divine. This can be an uncomfortable process, as it often involves dismantling structures of thought we considered safe and familiar. However, it is through this process of deconstruction and reconstruction that we can reach a deeper and more authentic understanding of spiritual reality. This revelation invites us to transcend the limitations of the rational mind and connect with a higher dimension of consciousness where the truth manifests in its fullness. It suggests that there are levels of reality and understanding that go beyond what we can perceive with our physical senses or comprehend with our logical minds. This teaching encourages us to develop our intuition and our capacity for spiritual perception. Allow yourself to absorb every word of this powerful verse and let its wisdom penetrate your deepest being, guiding you towards spiritual enlightenment and inner realization. This is not a passive process of reading or memorization, but an active engagement with the text, allowing it to transform us from within. As we contemplate these ancient words, we may find that they resonate with a truth we already knew on some deep level of our being. They may awaken dormant spiritual memories, reconnecting us with innate knowledge that has been obscured by the distractions and conditioning of daily life. The impact of this verse goes beyond intellectual understanding. It has the potential to catalyze a profound transformation in our consciousness, fundamentally altering the way we perceive ourselves and the world around us. This shift in perspective can manifest in all aspects of our lives, from our personal relationships to our approach to work and our connection with the natural world. By allowing this ancient wisdom to permeate our being, we may discover a renewed sense of purpose and meaning in our lives. We may begin to see beyond superficial appearances and recognize the deep interconnectedness of all existence. This can lead to a greater sense of compassion, not only for other human beings, but for all life. The Gospel of Thomas invites us to a form of spirituality that is direct, experiential, and deeply personal. It suggests that the kingdom of God is not a distant place or a future state, but a present reality that we can experience here and now if we only learn to see with new eyes. Ultimately, the revelations contained in this lost gospel have the potential to revolutionize not only our individual understanding of spirituality, but also our collective approach to religion and the pursuit of truth. They invite us to transcend sectarian divisions and recognize the fundamental unity that lies at the core of all authentic spiritual traditions. As we embark on this journey of exploration and transformation, we are called to be both students and guardians of this ancient wisdom. We have the responsibility not only to understand these truths for ourselves, but also to live them in a way that can inspire and uplift others. May each of us find the courage and openness to dive deep into the waters of this timeless wisdom, allowing it to transform us and, through us, transform the world. Discover how these teachings can impact your life in profound and meaningful ways. Subscribe to the channel for more inspiring content that will continue to explore the hidden dimensions of spirituality and the mysteries of the lost Gospel of Thomas. Together, we can unravel ancient secrets and apply them in our journey of spiritual growth and self-discovery. May God bless you abundantly and illuminate your path with the light of eternal wisdom. We deeply appreciate your being part of this spiritual journey with us. Remember, every step we take toward the truth brings us closer to our divine essence. Keep exploring, questioning, and seeking, for it is through this tireless quest that we find the deepest and most transformative answers. May the peace and love of the divine always be with you on your journey of discovery and enlightenment.